Hey everybody, Jeffrey Beamer here, Senior Investment Strategist over at ewotrader.com. Welcome to your Pro Trader Tip of the day. And since we are primarily option traders, the Pro Trader Tip for today is always give yourself enough time to be right. All right, so we're looking at trade ID 1175 today. This is KMX, that would be Carmax. And this was a trade that we did in our Delta Neutral Breakout service that got us almost 29% return, but it took 25 days to get there. So what I try to do as an option trader is I really like, as a minimum, to get at least a 1% return on my risk capital per day. So if I have an X number of dollars at risk, I want 1% return on that money per day. So this actually fits right in there. We got a 28.87% return. It took 25 days to get there. That's a little over 1% a day. But this is abnormal for these types of trades. We are looking for big breakouts on these types of trades. And this is where a professional service like our Delta Neutral Breakout service can come in handy, because we entered this trade back on June 20th. The trade is on Carmax, as I mentioned. This is historically a very volatile stock. And we entered the trade for a $760 debit. That would be a long strangle. We were given a little edge here because in doing the math, which I do for my subscribers, all right, we estimated that the option market makers were allowing a little bit of an edge based upon the historic move of the stock. Well, we get into the trade, and normally we're out of these trades in 2 or 3 days. Well, what happened? Well, on June 21st, guess what? Earnings came out and the stock went, oh no, almost nowhere. The stock, which historically moves double digits, just went up a few percentage points. So what did we do? I immediately sent out commentary that said, hey, this stock only moved up 2%, but here's what we're going to do. And it was because I gave us enough time to be right that we were able to hold on to the trade and look for a potential move to come, because Carmax does move. I did talk about the CDK debacle in the car industry. If you don't know anything about that, you can Google it. CDK. It affected over 15,000 dealerships across the country. Thought that may make the stock move, but it didn't. Finally, on July 10th, so we went from June 21st to July 10th, Carmax just consolidated, didn't go anywhere. Very unusual for the stock. And then we get this. We get a breakout of the triangle. I provided commentary saying, hey, the stock was consolidating. This is very unusual for the stock. And finally, we get the breakout move. I told everybody at the very end of this, hold for now. All right. We held on to our position. And finally, 2 days later, on the 12th, we got big follow through, big 3 green candles, and the trade became profitable. Went from almost a big loser to a decent, very decent, profitable trade. And we finally sent out the exit alert, and we profited. Here it is, the stock gapping up, moving higher, getting above that upper break even into the profit zone. The alert went out, exited a market order, best efforts, and finally we settled out at a profit of $218 on risk, which was a 28.87% return on our risk capital. So in summary, just give yourself enough time to be right. We had plenty of time because Carmax does not have weekly options. So we had to go out to the July expiration, and we were able to stick with the trade for a couple of weeks, waiting for the stock to move, which it finally did. And we took our profits, and we're on to the next trade as we enter the heart of earnings season this week. So everybody, that's your Pro Trader Tip for today. Give yourself enough time to be right. We'll talk to you again very soon. Take care.